Okay, cool.
So let's see, here we go. Oh, yep, we're on. Okay, cool. Okay, well, thanks for taking the time out of your night to come here and get to learn a little bit about gut health. And I know weight loss was a topic we wanted to cover. I'm going to mute you guys for just a minute so there's no feedback on the recording, and then I'll unmute Shelly in just a second. But the way it's going to run, it's going to be a really quick 15-minute thing just to educate on what gut health is, what we have for packs that are offered for that, what weight loss options are there as well, because I know that was definitely something to touch on for tonight. But really what it is when we get started with Plexus, usually we'll start with somebody as an accountability partner. And it's purely because we're just 90% more successful with our own goals when we have that buddy with us. Like when you go to the gym or you start a new habit, you never go by yourself because you never stay consistent. That's me. And so that's something to keep in mind, is that whoever that ride or die person is for you, just kind of keep in mind of, like, as you're hearing these bullet points of what Plexus does offer and what can happen, is that if you're like, oh, I know somebody who has that, because like allergies, that's my husband. Constipation, that was my son. So like I already started hearing these things that were all related to gut health, and so that was super important. So just kind of keep an open mind about that when you're hearing these stories. So Shelly's going to hop in and share her story real quick, and then I'm going to touch back on my story, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the packs and information about that, and then we'll hop right back off. So Shelly, go ahead, take it away.
All right. Thanks, Kylie. And just to give you a little bit of context, Kylie and I went to PT school together, so that's how we know each other back in the day. But anyway, thank you all for showing up and joining us. Really appreciate it. Just a little bit about my experience. Before I started with Plexus, I was, number one, very constipated. I had been pretty much my whole life, but I just kind of accepted it as normal. I would get a little bit tired after work, I think, like most people. And, with COVID, I was doing like these HIIT workouts at home, and there'd be days where I just really didn't feel like working out. And I also wouldn't remember my patients' names. Like I would call them back for their evaluation. And by the end of the eval, that's 45 minutes, I had like forgotten their name. Pretty bad. And even, the following day or, the days later, I wouldn't remember them. My PTA would be like, hey, do you remember so-and-so? What do I need to know about them? And I would have to go back and look at my chart to remind myself of what I did with them. And then the other thing is I also would get kind of like energy crashes, or I get kind of like hangry in between meals. Even though I felt like I was eating a really healthy diet and, low glycemic foods that were supposed to like, last, give you lasting energy throughout the day. And so I just kind of like accepted those things as normal, part of everyday life. People get energy crashes. People, have bad short-term memory and bad with names, But then I started with Plexus, and literally the first week, my constipation was gone. Like I was going 2 to 3 times a day, which is normal. I think most people think it's only once a day, but 2 to 3 times, which was huge for me. And I also was having a lot more energy. So like I would, even after a busy day, like today, I had 12 people back to back to back, and I still wanted to come home and work out, and my memory, that's a big thing. That has really improved. I'm remembering people's names. I can remember them weeks later without having to look them up in the chart. And I don't get those energy crashes anymore, which is, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when I'm working with patients, I'll become more impatient with them and kind of like rush them through. Whereas now I can be totally present with them and take my time and just be more thorough. So I feel like I'm just being a better practitioner in general too. So those little things like you don't really think about, but they do make like a big impact in your life. And so I honestly feel like kind of superhuman, to be honest with you. Like I honestly have like endless energy throughout the day, and I can do whatever I want whenever I want, and it's pretty great. So that's been my experience overall, and it's nice to know that like those things that I did think of as normal have improved. So that's
I am so sorry.
Was I
Finish.
muted the whole time?
No, I just fat fingered you in the last second and I didn't even mean to.
Wait, you muted me by accident?
Yes.
Okay, but did you hear everything I said?
Yes. I heard
Okay.
everything you said,
Okay,
that
good. Because
everything
I
you
noticed
felt
at
was
the end it was
normal.
muted, and I
No,
was like, oh.
everything you felt was normal was not normal, and you feel better. That was where I fat
Yes.
finger muted you. So I'm
Okay,
so
perfect.
sorry, girl. Okay, did you have anything else to add before I mute?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I'm going to mute myself now, okay?
Go. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it at all. I'm so sorry. I'm never touching censor things again. That's just not fair. Okay. Well, anyways, this is what our personalities are like. We just get to connect. So, well, I started Plexus 2 years ago, and it really was because a friend of mine had trouble nursing her baby due to gluten, soy, and dairy allergies. And when she said she found something that worked where she could take it and her baby never suffered anymore, like people chalked it up to colic. It wasn't, it was actual allergies. And so I was like, okay, I got to know what this is. So a PT friend of mine actually shared it with me, and she was paying off a debt snowball. And I was like, hello, PT debt over here. Who doesn't have debt? Everybody has debt. And so I was like, okay, cool. So this helps with gluten, soy, and dairy allergies. It's not any of those free, like gluten-free, dairy-free, all those things. And you're paying off money. I felt like this is somehow illegal. So I had to ask because I wanted to know. And I trusted my friend, Kara. She's super awesome. And she's just definitely a person I respect. So I just asked her what it was. And so she shared it with me. And so the biggest things were blood sugar balance. I didn't really realize, and I'm not diabetic. I had no outstanding health issues. I have a blood clot disorder, but that was like, it's not bothering me. I had surgeries for that kind of thing and so on. But I had a history of surgeries. I was an old athlete. I had athletic injuries. I had 2 boys within 2.5 years and a miscarriage. And I was constipated like crazy with my pregnancies. And then my youngest was constipated. And I started these products when he was 3 months old. And I had postpartum like crazy with him. And I didn't with my first. And so he was super constipated. He'd wake us up at 4 a.m. screaming because of his constipation. It was bad. And it was because of my gut health. That is another eye-opening thing. It's not hereditary. It's straight up gut health, as in like I decided it is hereditary in the fact I passed it, but it can be fixed. That's the thing that we just don't ever think about, and not with medication. So that's the nice part. So my sleep was like I was hit by a freight train before I started. I sleep so restful. I was able to get up multiple times in the middle of the night to feed my son and wake up like how Shelly said, my mind was like mental clear. Like I felt like I was just focused. I was in the zone, able to do boom, boom, boom things. And the same thing with my patients. I'm a PT as well. And I would struggle. I would forget where I was going or who I was seeing or what, I would forget all the little things that were important to me, but I just couldn't remember them. And my brain fog was lifted. And I had energy that I could actually like sustain throughout the day. It wasn't jitters. It wasn't highs and lows. It's just, I literally felt like that's exactly how I explained it. I felt like Superwoman for like 4 days straight, to the point that I was literally actually doing everything. And I was going, I could do this for days. And I'm like, Kylie, just sleep, girl. You got to actually still got to sleep. And so it was just nice to like have all this energy. So it was amazing. But the fact that I was able to be present with my family, like I was actually not putting my kids to sleep and like wasting their lives because I was exhausted. So the exhaustion was real. The brain fog was real. My female cycles after my surgeries for blood clots were insane. The pain was excruciating and debilitating. I would have to miss work. That was money out of my pocket. And then I had to take Tylenol 3 with codeine. That was a doctor's visit and pain meds. And we all know what those do. They constipate. So that was super helpful as well. And when I actually got my gut in check, I literally didn't realize my cycle had started because I had no pain. And that was insane to me, to go from debilitating, like heating pad, like I specifically bought cars with heated seats because I would hurt so bad. And so I didn't even have to do that. It was great. And then my skin had cleared up and everything else. So that was another benefit. That was such a blessing and such a surprise. So, and then on top of that, I lost my baby weight, and it wasn't like a drastic drop off. It was over the course of like 3.5 months, I lost my 20 pounds that I had gained. And it was nice. I just felt more energetic, and I didn't feel like I was starving. I just felt like fulfilled. Like I actually felt nourished. I felt like I wasn't starving. I wouldn't go for an entire bag of chips at Chili's. Like I could eat that whole basket by myself normally. And now I can like enjoy the chips, but I don't have to have like 1 or 2 whole things to myself. So I just get to enjoy life and do things like that and not have to worry about anything. So that being said, I wanted to share the products with you because I want to be respectful of your time and show you. And so the main gut health system, like if something piqued your interest about gut health, the 2 top products or recommendations for packs that I would recommend is there's this one, which is the basic. It's triplex is what they call it, but it's basically 3 products, but it's a system. There's a reason why it's a system. It's like brushing your teeth. This is like the mouthwash, the probiotic. It actually has an antifungal. It kills the bad bacteria. That's why it works. And don't worry about like it's quality over quantity. You don't have to worry about how many billions of CFUs. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what's in it, and that it has an antifungal, which nothing else on the market has. And they're all bioavailable. That's why they work. This one is BioCleanse. It's a gentle cleanse. It is not a like cleanse like you would think. It is like the floss. When you're flossing, this kills all the bad things. This comes in and gets all the nitty gritty particles and helps get them out of your gut. And then this is the Beautiful Slim. It's a pink drink, which I'm drinking currently. I'm drinking the other one actually right now, but there's 2 different kinds of flavors. This one is for gut health specifically. This one is for weight management specifically. They both balance blood sugars, so it really doesn't matter which one you go with because really at the end of the day, the gut health is the same. If you are significantly underweight, then I would go with this one only. I would not go with a hunger control. They both have prebiotic fibers, but this one helps you to stay fuller longer. So that is the triplex. This is a basic pack. Now, the Gut Health Advanced Pack, I'm going to kind of drop it down here so you can see. The Gut Health Advanced Pack comes with these, and it comes with Vital Biome and X Factor Plus, and it comes with 2 packs of this. So basically either a 2-month supply of this or a double up, so you can do 1 of each, which if your issue is gut health related, it's literally the key that unlocks all of that. It's going to hit the nail on the head with every gut health issue you have. So now if you wanted to start with the less products, you could do these 3. They're still a solid powerhouse. They still get to the root of the issues, and that's important. And so then if you're switching to more of a weight loss setup, the weight loss setup is also still has triplex in it. That's everybody and their mother is on triplex. So if you're starting with this, the bigger pack for weight loss, if you're more of a shakes person, you get 2 bags of shakes, which is basically a month's supply worth of meal replacements, which by itself is literally like the equivalent of the cost of the $209 that it is. And then it also comes with Balance and then 1 other product, MetaBurn. That's the only one I don't have, and it's because I'm pregnant, and it's the only one that is questionable on taking because of one. It's called 5-HTP. It's kind of we don't need to necessarily talk about it, but MetaBurn is helpful for boosting metabolism and mental clarity and energy. So that is something that you can use. Now, if you don't want to use a bigger pack like that, or maybe shakes aren't your thing, then you can still go back to either there's a Healthy Weight Basics that has this MetaBurn, and then the Slim. Sorry, I will put it on here. This Balance and the MetaBurn. But if you like or just want a simple pack too, there's the MetaBurn, and then a bag of the whey protein. So that's the Healthy Weight Basics. But so it just kind of depends on what your health goals are and what you want to focus on. That will help you kind of determine which pack you'd like to go with. And that's also why it's so important to be able to be in a conversation with Shelly and myself after this, just individually, so that we can cater to your specific health goals and what you want to focus on, because they all really can help. But when you're focusing on a specific health goal or specific things, then it's nice to know that that's why we're here, is to be able to help you figure out what it is that you are struggling with, what it is that you want to focus on. And then we can discuss like, these are options and which one do you feel like looks best to you? So that's the nice part. The bigger packs that have 7 products in them are $209. It's literally we have a discount that's 10% off. So it's $189 right now. It's literally like 3 products are nearly free. It's like 2.5 products worth are free. And so I'm a big bang for my buck person. Like if I'm going to save money and get my products, I'm going to go with that one. So I went with a big pack. But if you want to start more simple and that's more your style, then you can always go with the smaller pack, like the triplex. You really can't go wrong with that one. I always do recommend to add this one on Ease. This guy's a powerhouse by himself when you're adding it onto the triplex, because when yeast overgrowth dies, inflammation is the way that our body responds. That's really what's causing all the issues. So when we're having things that are actually powerhouse products coming in to work and they work effectively, detox is a very normal thing. And so that's why Ease really helps with that, because it really just kind of helps to relieve your body from getting rid of it in a nice manner. So super helpful that way. This is also the reason why I don't notice when my cycles start. This guy, also amazing. So there's 2 different ways to purchase it. It's the last thing I was going to share. 2 different ways that you purchase is, one, you can do it as a customer. It's more expensive than a wholesale, and you still get 60-day guarantee either way. But when you're doing wholesale, which most people do, the reason being is that there's a lot of reasons, but the biggest ones is you get access just like you do at Sam's Club or Costco. If you have the wholesale membership, which literally is $1 through this month, so it's already a $40 savings by itself, is that you literally get access to the wholesale for an entire year. You get access to the Perks Rewards program, which is by the time you order 2 months worth of products, you already get a free product on the 3rd month, which I never hear anywhere else. And I love that. I use the Perks program all the time. It's amazing. Sorry, that's my doggy. And then the other thing too is that they give you a referral program. They have that you can choose to use, or you can choose to never touch it. But typically when you feel better, you tend to share it or people notice. So they tend to ask you, or you just feel better and they're like, what happened to you? And so that's happened to me before. And so, and I took notes so I don't ramble. But the biggest thing is that when you do that, they have the referral program so that they use your referral link and when they're ready to get started with you. So that person that's a ride or die, they use your referral link, not mine. They use yours. And so they're starting with you. So that's a nice thing that they give you a bonus on. Now there's no requirement to anything. There's literally no requirement. It's almost like a too good to be true because of how amazing this company is. That's how I've always felt. So, but it's just been such a blessing for our family. And the fact that it's been able to help so many people that I know, and the fact that I've been able to help Shelly, and now that you guys are here, it's kind of just fun to be able to see the ripple effect of like what God uses for these. And so, but yeah, so the referral program, you already get a $35 referral bonus for the person that starts with you. And then should you decide that you find 3 people this month, you can literally have 305. That covers literally your 90-day trial period. So that's a nice thing too. And they have access to the same thing should you guys decide to use it. So that was a lot to cover. I hope that was helpful. I tried to get as close to the 15 minutes as possible. I did as good a job as I could. But so what's going to happen is Shelly's going to start a message with us individually just so we can talk with you guys on a personal basis. So if you have any questions that's pertaining to you, we want to make sure that that's an intimate place for you to share that. But I just want to say we thank you for hopping on and thank you for taking time out of your night. I know that time is important and it's not something we get back, so we truly appreciate it. And I hope that this helped to kind of open your eyes to what gut health is and what weight loss systems look like, and really just even the tip of the iceberg of what Plexus has to offer. So thanks for hopping on, and we hope you guys have a good night.
Thank y'all. Bye.